Picture this. Two colossal superpowers locked in a silent war. No bullets flying, no bombs dropping. Just a high-stakes chess match of secrets, betrayals, and invisible battles. This was the Cold War, a time when the fate of humanity often rested in the hands of spies lurking in the shadows. When World War II ended, the United States and the Soviet Union emerged as bitter rivals. They each built up nuclear arsenals so terrifying that any direct conflict could trigger annihilation. So instead of open warfare, they waged a covert one, using espionage as their deadliest weapon. On both sides of the Iron Curtain, spies infiltrated governments, military installations, and scientific labs. The CIA and the KGB became household names, but most of their operations were so classified that even presidents weren't told every detail. One of the most notorious Cold War spies was Aldrich Ames, a CIA officer. Ames secretly fed information to the Soviets for nearly a decade. He exposed dozens of American assets in Moscow, many of whom were executed as a direct result. And what did he do it for? A lifestyle he couldn't afford. Fancy cars, expensive suits, all paid for by Soviet cash. His betrayal is still considered one of the most devastating intelligence disasters in U.S. history. But Ames wasn't alone. On the other side, the Soviets had their own moles buried deep inside Western institutions. The Cambridge Five, a ring of British double agents, passed atomic secrets to Moscow, giving Stalin the blueprints he needed to build the Soviet bomb. These young, well-educated men were seemingly respectable, but beneath their polished exteriors lay fanatical devotion to communist ideology. Espionage wasn't just about human sources. It was also about technology. The U-2 spy plane flew at 70,000 feet to snap photos of Soviet missile sites, until France's Gary Powers was shot down in 1960, triggering an international crisis. Later, satellites replaced planes, orbiting the Earth to peer behind the Iron Curtain without ever crossing a border. Meanwhile, East German Stasi agents operated one of the most pervasive surveillance states ever created. Ordinary citizens were pressured to inform on their neighbors. A casual comment in a cafe could land you on a secret police watch list. Paranoia was a way of life. But perhaps the most thrilling and terrifying aspect of Cold War espionage was the possibility that spies could spark real war. The Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 showed how close the world came to nuclear disaster. CIA reconnaissance photos proved that Soviet nuclear missiles were being installed in Cuba. For 13 days, humanity teetered on the edge. One misstep by a spy, one false report could have turned the Cold War hot in an instant. Not all spies were in it for ideology or money. Some were driven by revenge, others by a sense of excitement, a way to matter in a world where ordinary life felt dull. The Cold War produced stories stranger than fiction. Microfilm hidden in hollow coins, messages written in invisible ink, briefcases rigged with hidden transmitters. Today, many Cold War operations have been declassified, revealing just how audacious and sometimes absurd these secret wars really were. Dead drops in park benches, fake identities crafted in backrooms, and entire families living double lives, never suspecting their parent was a traitor. Some say espionage prolonged the Cold War. Others argue it kept the peace, giving each side just enough information to avoid a catastrophic miscalculation. Either way, the era of spies left an indelible mark on history, a reminder that the most dangerous weapons are often invisible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the hidden world of Cold War espionage, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us bring you more stories that the algorithm doesn't always like to share. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which Cold War spy story do you find the most shocking? Drop your answer in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.